The industry is chastened and realizes we're in a kind of different mode than they used to. But the good news is companies appear to be more profitable and well positioned, but at a cost of fewer employees and clearly compensation that's not going to be as robust as people had gotten used to.
People got the message and still have it. You know, they've taken it to heart, and they still, you know, they remember what they said last year. They remember what we wrote, and they see how it's playing out.
You know, I think last year we coined the era of less, that this was going to be the era of less, and I think people kind of nodded their heads and said, yeah, it sounds kind of glib, but the cycle's a cycle, and we're gonna come back. And I think what we see now this year is that people are buying onto, it is the year of less. This is different. This recovery is going to be kind of stunted and not very robust. We're not going to have significant opportunities, and that the markets are just not going to recover in a normal, typical, cyclical fashion.
This is just going to be longer and slower and harder. I think people are focused on the 24-hour gateway markets. They're focused on the pedestrian-friendly cities. They're looking for markets with transit-oriented development, work, play, and all of those things. I think people, you know, have reinforced that and understand that's where the highly competitive market's going to be. That said, people are trying to think of how to approach the secondary and tertiary markets. Is there a strategy that makes sense within the context of markets that may not be growing economically, that may not be growing many jobs, where there may be less liquidity at some point in the future? So I think people are trying to, you know, work their way around that puzzle, but it remains a puzzle for most people.
Well, I've observed, you know, over the last 10 years sort of a schizoid approach to investors and what their expectations are. They talk the talk about, yes, real estate's supposed to be this kind of income plus investment, but they want a lot more. And it worked up until 2007. And they were expecting after this crash that big returns could be captured again. But that's just not going to be possible this time.
You know, last year we talked about 15% being the new 20 for the opportunistic. I think people have ratcheted that down substantially. I think people know if you're going to play with core, it's going to be at low initial yields, and they're just not going to grow a lot in a weak economy. And so their long-term returns are going to be in the mid to high single digits. So I think people are pretty realistic. You don't see, you know, many people thinking there are outsized returns out there. If there are, they're not confined to a property. They're a deal. It's a company. It's a large portfolio. It's a strategic bet on a niche strategy. You know, it's complex. It's huge complexity. There you may be able to get rewarded with big returns. But on average, I think people have said those days are way behind.